Hi everyone, Anthony Fantano here, internet's busiest music nerd, and it's time for one of these videos. We haven't done them in a while, a vinyl update. I'm gonna talk about this small pile of records sitting in my lap right now. Just recent additions to the collection. Hey, before we start, shout outs to this guy. Man, he is hilarious. Very creative in his nasty insults. Alright, let's move forward. Let's go on. Bought this record, first record, at a live show. I think I caught Zamudo live back in April, and they had recently reissued some of these albums, so of course had to have it. I think I got it for $10 or so. Books. Thought for food, y'all. Thought for food. Folktronic LP, as you guys may know, the band's, or the duo's last full-length LP, The Way Out, was one of my favorites of theirs, though a lot of people do prefer this album. Very simple packaging and labeling, though it is a nice thick pressing. Just, I want to make sure. It's on Tom Lab, or so it says on here. But yes, the books, thought, rather. Just had to make sure. Sometimes you add S's on the ends of things, and you don't mean to, but you do it anyway. Thought for food. Do check this out if you're looking for something Folktronic. With some interesting samples as well. Grabbed this at a flea market for $5. It says $6, but I got it for $5. Prince, 1999. Prince, I had to have it. Though nothing on this album really sounds like that. Don't let my terrible singing turn you away from this album. Sexy. Can y'all see that sexiness? That's Ceci. I'm white. I'm super white right now. Don't mind me as I turn white, as we're showing off these records. Prince and the Band. Lyrics, credits on the back of these two sleeves. I'm actually yet to put this on the turntable. I got that pretty recently at the flea market. This is a record I caught down at South by Southwest, but I haven't really talked about it until now because it wasn't released at the time. Now it has been released. The band Creative Adult, they played a short little set at the, I guess the day party that Terrorize and I threw together. And they have an EP out on, let me make sure, Run for Cover Records. A little bit of art rock on here, post-hardcore. It's pretty noisy, pretty heavy at points too. Creative Adult, Bulls in the Yard. It's not a bad 7-inch. I actually think there's a link where you can stream it on the website. So that's pretty cool. Alright, next. Suicide. Do check this record out, though. This is just a reissue. But still, check this record out if you're looking for some noisy synth, minimal synth, post-punk stuff with some very odd lyrics. You guys may remember, I think on her last full-length LP, MIA sampled a song off of this album. And if you've never heard of Suicide before, basically look up the song Frankie Teardrop, and you will basically get in my opinion, it's kind of like the mission statement of the band. It's really like, oh, this is how weird and disturbing music can be. Suicide. Alright, this next one I also grabbed at a flea market. Surprisingly so. I was like, holy crap, this is here? Whoa, no way. The United States of America. It's an okay condition. I mean, the record itself is not beat to hell, as I'm turning whiter. The record itself is not beat to hell, but the album art is a little bit, unfortunately. Sleeve's a little worn too. I might get a new sleeve for this. But record plays through, though I do have to clean it You know, it does need a little bit of cleaning, but you know, no big scratches on it or anything. And as far as what is on this record goes, a lot of experimental rock, psychedelic rock, a little bit of influence coming from the prog side of things around that time. I think this record came out in, I think, late 60s. Let me just make sure of that right now before I make a complete idiot of myself. 1968. Trying to, maybe a little bit of Jefferson Airplane or something on this album, just a slight bit. I've heard them compared by some people to Velvet Underground in a sense, though, you know, I definitely, you know, don't go onto this record looking for like another Waiting for My Man or anything like that. It's definitely not that kind of album, but it is an interesting late 60s experimental rock record with a blend of different sounds around that time. It's not like one consistent sound from beginning to end. There are some interesting tunes on here and some weird sounds as well for its time. It's an interesting record, and you know, like I said, I was surprised to run across this thing in a flea market, and I was assuming that just based on what the cover looked like, that the record was not going to be in good condition, and then I was like, holy crap, record looks good, and like I said, it plays through just fine. Just gotta clean it. Got past this compilation from the good people over at Analog Africa. This came out in 2010, the Angola soundtrack, The Unique Sound of Luanda, 1968 to 1976. Just think about it. While some of the music on this was being made, that United States of America record was being made. That's crazy. Or at least I think that's interesting. But anyway, a lot of Afrobeat on this thing. Not a bad compilation of sounds. Sure, it kind of blends together stylistically a little bit, but there are some standouts, some good grooves, interesting poster coming with this thing. It's not a bad release at all. You know, I happen to be big into, you know, Afrobeat music, just African rock music, African psych music in general, and Analog Africa is one of the more solid labels that you can go to when it comes to, you know, listening to that kind of music from that place, that and like Soundway Records, places like that. The record's not badly pressed, and of course, I think it's, is it every band on here? I think? Yeah, I think so. Pretty much every group that they feature on this compilation has a little bit of a backstory on the sleeve. You know, labels like this don't screw around. You know, it's like not only are you getting, you know, the music, but you're getting the background as well, which I really love. Sorry if I'm stepping out of focus a little bit over here while I'm getting too excited about records. All right, this last one, I could do a whole video on this, but man, this record fries my eyes just looking at it because of the color difference and just the color palette on here. But oh my god, the new Knife album. And you know, I want to say the contrast of like this weird green color and this weird hot pink color may look strong in the video, but it's even stronger in person. You know how the Animal Collective record, Meriwether Post Pavilion, like when you see it online, the cover art moves, but when you see it in person, maybe the illusion is not as strong. Seeing this in person versus online really just burns. Like if I stare at it long enough, I have to like close my eyes for a second. It burns. This is a triple LP. This is triple vinyl. It's nice and thick, and you know, just in terms of like the cover itself, and you know, you're getting like interesting album art in here, like a lot of weird colors and washes of color in here with the track list. But as far as what is kind of in this whole thing, of course you've got your 3 records. They're all nicely pressed, black sleeves. This thing is nice. And many of you who may have caught the comic that they put up over on their website, they also decked out this packaging with a physical poster of these comics. Oh. We're going to finish this out. This is our last one. But also on the other side, we're getting lyrics to the tracks as well. This is decked out. You know, it's decked out from beginning to end. And of course, on top of all this, you have 2 CD copies of the album. Well, not 2 CD copies of the entire album, but 2 CDs. 3 LPs, 2 CDs, and yeah, there's another comic poster on here, just like that other one that I just showed you. This one folds out as well. It's a hefty package, real hefty package. Haha. So yeah, new Knife record, Shaking the Habitual. And that'll be that for this vinyl update. Thank you guys for watching. Records, 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 records. Forever.